Hey, my name's Andrew, and today we're checking out the Vivo Barefoot Tracker Firm Ground Textile. I'm going to do a full review on this boot when the conditions get more nasty in upstate New York, but for now, it's gotten down to like 30 degrees, so I've taken the tracker out for some hikes and walks, and yeah, we're just going to talk about the features and my experience testing the boot so far. So for starters, actually a pretty wide toe box for this. It does get a little more sloped towards the front, so it's going to depend on what kind of foot shape you have, but probably wide enough for most people unless you have extra wide feet. In terms of the upper, it is 100% vegan and recycled materials and also 100% waterproof, which is kind of rare because a lot of barefoot boots are just water resistant, but this one will go through anything. I've been through streams and puddles and wet grass and rain, and all the stuff just streams straight off of this textile material. And the nice thing, other than if you are looking for a vegan type material specifically about synthetic waterproofing, is that you don't have to treat it like leather all of the time. This is just gonna hold up to water by itself. And then, yeah, moving on, it's got a gusseted tongue along with being waterproof, which you can see right there. So yeah, if it's raining, if it's doing the wintry mix thing, this boot is really great for keeping that kind of stuff out. Got a tough set of laces, which hold really well here, but then you also have up on the top the lace hooks, which allow you to take the boot off really quickly. In the back, it's got a pull tab. Vivo is doing really well with their pull tabs this year because they're nice and large and easy to put your finger into, unlike most boots which have this little teeny tiny finger hold that you can't even get your finger into, so they're basically useless. But yeah, lots of finger room for Vivo this year. On the other side, they've also got a lace hook that goes through here that holds the laces in place, because one of the problems with a lot of winter boots is that when you take them off, the laces just kind of like come undone and it's really annoying. So this holds the laces in place, which is nice. I like that a lot. Inside the boot, they've also got a fully synthetic lining, but it's got a lot of air to it. Like you can see the squish here. It's not a heavy boot by any means. It feels fairly light to walk around in. I didn't really notice it at all. I thought it would feel maybe a little more clunky because it looks like a heavier boot, but this is actually super lightweight insulation. And it's not quite as warm as like a wool insulation would be, but it's a little more versatile because you could wear this boot during the summer, and you're not going to overheat the way you would if you had wool insulation on. Yeah, so the other thing that I like about the tracker is that it comes with a heat reflective insole, and these from Vivo Barefoot are really great because they've got space blanket material. You can see how shiny they are, and what it does is it rejects cold air that's coming up from the bottom of the boot, and then it reflects heat from your foot back up to you. So you can get away with using a thinner sock than you normally would for cold weather. And then in really cold weather, you can just stack the socks up and the insole will help reflect all of the heat that the sock is retaining for you. Yeah, so I've been using these for like 6 years, and I even use them in my super thin Primus Light shoes to run in. I was running like 10 degrees, and like this insole makes a huge difference because this shoe was freezing cold without it, but then you just add the insole and as long as you're moving, like you stay really warm. Let's take a look at the bottom of the shoe. Underneath, the tracker has a 7mm sole, so like medium thin, but still a lot of flexibility. You can bend it in half either way. And then diagonally, you can just twist it. So it's got a pretty impressive amount of flexibility for like a semi-thick barefoot boot. In terms of the tread, it's got quite a bit of space, so it's aggressive, but the lugs are also fairly flat. So you can walk on roads with this and it works pretty well. Unlike something like the Balenka Winter, which has these really pointed type lugs, which are gonna get ground down on pavement. So like Yeah, these are definitely a lot more hard wearing, so it's good for lots of different types of firm ground. But they are raised enough so that if you're going down a hill, like a muddy hill or a slushy hill, it's going to give you more traction than, a minimal sole like this, like the Vivo Barefoot Scott. Yeah. So those are my thoughts on the boot. I think one other thing is that I think the toe box does get a little bit more skinny towards the front, but certainly a lot of room in the instep. So that may be something to consider if you have super high arches. You might like a boot that has little, where'd the goby go? Oh, there it is. Yeah, you might like a boot that has a little bit more flexibility, a little bit higher front of the boot and running up towards the instep. But yeah, in general, I think a really tough boot that's going to be good for all seasons. I'm going to see how it performs in the colder weather when it starts to get a lot more nasty here in New York. But yeah, those are my thoughts for now. And if you have a question about the Vivo Barefoot Tracker or about barefoot shoes in general, just let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. Peace.